The social media app TikTok came under very intense scrutiny yesterday on Capitol Hill. Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle grilled, and grilled is the word here, grilled the company's CEO on how the company protects Americans' private information from China.
CEO is Singaporean. Yeah, I mean, he's like Singaporean, American. None of that matters. He's Asian and has an accent, okay? So in the eyes of Americans, he might as well be literally Xi Jinping, okay? So just understand that. Like, no American thinks that, okay? No American thinks this guy isn't a fucking literal spy for the CCP. Most Americans are going to see that and go, China bad, this guy is Chinese for sure, and a communist. Anyway, but I talked about this a lot yesterday. I think that this entire story is just like a litany of absolute fucking nonsense. I mean, there are very real reasons to regulate our social media, of course. TikTok especially, because TikTok is like on steroids. It's like Facebook and YouTube combined on steroids. Like it's like unimaginably powerful at like brainwashing people, changing people's perspectives on shit, right? I mean, look at Andrew Tate and how he popped off. He's kind of hot though, so I'm okay with him having all my info. Yeah, everyone has all of your info. Anyway, let's
Chinese
watch.
Government surveillance. Now, some support a total
I think he
ban
handled
of this
himself.
app, calling it a risk.
I think he handled himself really well, perhaps a little too well. I do feel like nowadays, like the CEOs have improved. Like he was basically like built in a lab or something. I don't know how the fuck he did that. He just sat there, ate shit, and did a relatively decent job at like misdirecting. Relatively decent job at like responding to all the unimaginable amounts of shit, because like this meeting was not about TikTok. This meeting was about China and how much we fucking hate China. You know what I mean? Like it was just straight up. They were literally being like, yeah, what's up? What happened in Tiananmen Square? Huh? Fuck you. Why did you do that? Why were you the tank? Why were you literally the tank in Tiananmen Square? Why would you operate the tank? Were you the tank there? How many Uyghurs have you killed personally? Like, it was just literally shit like that. This motherfucker's like a Harvard or Yale graduate, and he worked at fucking Goldman Sachs, okay? You're talking to a guy who was a banker at Goldman Sachs, who's like a Singaporean American guy. He's not Chinese. You're literally like, you're literally asking him to respond to the Chinese government's atrocities. You know what I mean? It's like fucked up. And in any other circumstance, it kind of wouldn't work. Okay? It wouldn't work, but it's like against China. So anything goes. Let's be real. But yeah, his performance in this meeting doesn't change anything. I think what America wants to do, what the American government wants to do, they'll get away with regardless. Let's be fucking real. But did I find it particularly funny that all these like free speech conservatives were literally using like shit on this fucking platform to be like, yeah, how dare you show this? How dare you post things like this on TikTok personally? It's really fucked up. We got to ban this platform. It can't be run by the Chinese any longer.
Total ban of this app, calling it a risk to U.S. national security. Nicole Killian has more from Capitol Hill.
TikTok's chief executive was met with intense skepticism on Capitol Hill Thursday over the app's security and privacy practices.
We do not trust TikTok will ever embrace American values.
Shouzi Chu tried to dispel lawmakers' concerns about China's access to American data since its parent company ByteDance is based in Beijing.
ByteDance is not owned or controlled by the Chinese government.
But when pressed repeatedly,
do ByteDance employees in Beijing have access to American data?
We have employees in China, so yes.
Has ByteDance spied on American citizens?
I don't think the spying is the right way to describe it.
Committee members argue the platform remains a national security threat.
You damn well know that you cannot protect the data and security of this committee or.
It's so funny to say stuff like this as a libertarian. This woman is a libertarian, okay? Who is all like, as a conservative, like, what do you mean? Like, yeah, you're so right about that. Except, like, TikTok is not doing anything different in comparison to every other social media platform. Like, this is literally just so, it's the Chinese doing it, so it's bad. It's okay when it's Facebook. It's okay when the NSA has a backdoor. It's okay when, like, America openly spies on its own citizens and also other people, not just its own citizens, but literally, you know, openly spies on, like, its allies and shit, as we found out through Edward Snowden. For some reason is not allowed to be back in the United States. I wonder what that was about. And you know, it's basically, it's okay when we do it. Why the fuck are you doing it? You're Chinese. That's what it is. I think I've been thinking a lot about, like, what the purpose for this is. Like, why are they taking this, like, political action? And I think literally part of it is.
Hey guys, it's Show here. As you know.
I think part of the reason is because they just want to buy it. Like, they want Meta to buy it, or they want, like, you know, Google is making a lot of efforts in basically creating a TikTok competitor in the form of shorts. Instagram is trying desperately to fucking turn into TikTok, and it's sucking. YouTube has been way more successful at utilizing shorts and even monetizing it, from what I understand. But yeah, they want our boys to own it. It's a very, very successful, perhaps too successful company, and it's not owned by an American. It's not owned by and controlled by Americans. You know, we got to get that bailout. We got to fix the Silicon Valley bubble situation. Okay? That's it.
No, I just testified before Congress, and I wanted to share my thoughts about the experience with you. Now, before I do that, I really want to thank you for the comments in the last video. Now, TikTok is all about conversations and community, and I'm so grateful to hear from all of you. Now, here are a few of my favorites. Now, that is what it's all about. A lot was said at the hearing, but I hope you heard the message, the important message, that it is our responsibility to protect more than 150 million Americans who love and use our platform.
Dude, he's too good. It freaks me out. It literally No, I don't like this. There is something. I do not like it. I don't like it when a CEO is not like immediately like a lizard person like Mark Zuckerberg. They're evolving. Stop standing the fucking TikTok CEO. You motherfuckers are not getting it. They're evolving, dude. The AI has gotten better. This is literally CEO 2.0, motherfucker. How do you not see this? I do not like it. This motherfucker's 40 years old, dog. Hasanabi is a libtard, isn't he? We don't need more Asians running internet crap. America has gone downhill because it's taking part in politics. Lol. Please don't ban this guy. We need to hear more from this guy. How did a 48-year-old divorced dad make his way into this chat? How did a 48-year-old divorced dad, whose children definitely don't talk to him, make his way onto Twitch? Like, what was he watching? Nick Merckx? Like, who? How did he get here? He literally said, we don't need more Asians running internet crap. Oh, this guy is awesome. I love you. XRIP Z, I'm 48, lol. Well, you sound like it, so it's more embarrassing if you're not. Okay. Anyway, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah, this is one of those instances where, like, it doesn't matter if you're right. Especially with respect to, like, the way people are treating this guy or the way fucking people freak out over China. And, like, the irony there is that, like, internationally speaking, capitalism also has created so much awfulness, especially in the global south. But China is a superpower with a tremendous amount of labor output, with a tremendous amount of output in general. It's a producer. It's not going to rock the fucking boat. America relies on China. China relies on America. Not only does America rely on China, China owns American debt to a certain degree, right? They're not going to fuck with each other like that. It's so stupid to just, I don't know. It comes across as so stupid to have this level of like anger towards what the Chinese government is doing beyond. It's not the most amount of debt. It's only like 8%, but that's still pretty significant. I believe across the board, the Japanese, as far as foreign nations goes, the Japanese government has most like the highest percentage of our debt. But that's still, a fuckload of money. So I don't know. I just, instead of banning TikTok, we need comprehensive legislation to ensure social media users' data is safe and secure. Banning TikTok won't solve that problem, and I was proud to stand with some of the most incredible creators today. Like, I guess he's like, what happened? Did they juice him? They give him some money? Yeah, we have the most amount of our own debt, of course. I'm just saying that, like, as far as foreign nation debt, like foreign nations that hold on to our debt, Japan is number one. I remember looking at it a while ago. Have you checked out Utah's new bill to try to get social media companies to verify users with personal documents, including minors? No, I have not. That sounds insane, though. But overall, the TikTok ban congressional hearing was watched by a lot, and it's going to get a lot of play on TikTok. TikTok is now juicing on the lobbying side as well, but it's just pure xenophobia, specifically Sinophobia, but it's pure xenophobia. The fact that in the United States of America, the exact opposite argument stands for fucking platforms not performing well enough for right-wing hateful content creators, while they simultaneously turn around and tell TikTok like, oh, you got to moderate your platform better, is so obvious. It's so obvious what they're fucking upset at. They're upset because, again, a Chinese company is profoundly successful. It's not a Silicon Valley company. It's a Chinese company, and that is no good. Now, does this mean TikTok has a lot of power? Absolutely. TikTok does have a lot of power. TikTok could potentially brainwash gigantic swaths of the population. We know this already, okay? But it's the same as Cambridge Analytica. It's the same as Facebook. It's the same as fucking Twitter. Maybe a little bit more successful because it's more successful as a platform, especially because of how unhinged its fucking algorithms are, right? But ultimately, the fear that they have is that it's an uncontrollable entity because it's not a part of the American security apparatus. It's not something that has, it doesn't have backdoors into the FBI and the NSA and the CIA. Do you see what I'm saying? As far as like data privacy, as far as security over your data goes, though, that is a laughable notion. It is a laughable notion because it doesn't matter what platform you go to, your data is always being sold. So if the Chinese government wanted to get your data, they would just buy it from a data broker, which possibly could even be cheaper for them. Eva Seid, director of cybersecurity at EFF, the Electronic Frontier Foundation, had a really good take that I retweeted. She said, if you think the U.S. needs a TikTok ban and not a comprehensive privacy law regulating data brokers, you don't care about privacy. You just hate that a Chinese company has built a dominant social media platform. Which is why I said I'm a bit of a centrist on this issue. Because the arguments that they launched towards TikTok are valid with respect to data. The argument that they launched towards TikTok are valid with respect to regulating and moderating the platform. Does that make sense? Like, those are valid, except those are valid for all of the platforms. And the American government doesn't care about any of those other platforms as long as there's a backdoor in a fucking, as long as Our State Department has our intelligence communities have a backdoor into all of those other platforms. Okay? They don't like it because it's the Chinese doing it to us. That's it. So on the other hand, the hyper focus against TikTok, I also understand, is coming from a disingenuous perspective. It's not a data privacy perspective. It's just an anti-China perspective. You get it? What do you mean have a back door? Intelligence communities can operate on all of these social media platforms without any sort of fucking scrutiny and can talk to them directly to get information about you if they want to. Okay? Spying, like actually spying. They can do it through your ISPs. They can do it through your social security networks. They can do it through wherever the fuck they can. You have no privacy on the internet. I think most people kind of understand that, but I guess like it's still shocking to many when you openly state it. I do think that the move to ban TikTok should be viewed as a second Silicon Valley bailout because our domestic tech monopolists and rent seekers got decadent and can't make compelling or even basically functional products anymore and lost the race for prime age users to a Chinese company. Yeah, it's a bailout of garbage like this that's so stupidly conceived and executed that even people working on its product teams don't want to use it. That's it. Meta can't steal from like American creators any longer, like Instagram, because all of these gigantic social media oligopolists, they do the exact same shit. They find a product that is popping off and they try to steal it. And if they can't, or they try to buy it, and if they can't do a predatory merger, okay, or a predatory acquisition, then they will turn around and recreate the exact same product. They did it with Snapchat. Instagram did it. They bought Instagram, and then they literally put stories on there because Snapchat was popping. Now they're doing Reels because TikTok is popping. Okay, being addicted to TikTok is praxis now. Wait, what? Nothing is praxis. You're on Twitch, okay? You're just trying to get a better understanding of what's going on in the world, or like a little bit different of an understanding of what you get from mainstream media. That's it, okay? There's no praxis here. I am not fucking funding the revolutionary vanguard in the third world. Shut the fuck up. I don't know why people make this like false assertion. I see it all the time on the internet, on left Twitter, and I see it all the time from my haters that make it seem like giving me fucking $5 is actually done because you think that I'm going to bring about socialism tomorrow. I'm not going to do that, okay? I'm going to buy more fucking Gucci shirts. Shut the fuck up. Everyone in here knows that. Come on, bro. This is not exclusive to you. This is how corporations works. If you have a moat, aka Reels, then other corporations will do the same thing and others to increase their profit margins is normal. Brother, I don't know if you know what community you're in, but like, yes, what is normal and what is like actually decent are two entirely different subjects, okay? I know it's normal. Sakura Gore, thank you for the 5. Get the subs. Allowing 5 people to no longer see the top of the hour ad break when it comes. It's not here yet. Okay. Some of your chatter's logic is basically, why hasn't my intro biology professor personally cured cancer yet? I mean, it is a little bit like that. You're right, but remember when Spotify did Wrapped and then Apple Music and YouTube copied it? That's truly innovative. Yeah. TikTok is the exact same, is in the same vein as the Dengus gamble, okay? Opening up China to international markets because of its robust labor force that could be offer capitalists what they want, a larger profit margin because of an exploitable, a much easily exploitable fucking labor force that just had so many people that it could throw at the problem, is in the exact same vein as TikTok. Okay? The Chinese know what you like, and they just make what you like. and that's it. And if you like it too much and it becomes successful, you're like, oh man, this is really fucked up. And even TikTok itself wasn't a new product. Like, it literally is not even TikTok itself is not even a new product. They just recognized that it was a good product. It is basically a reskinned Vine that turned into Musical.ly, that turned into TikTok and became what it is now. That's what it was. And a lot of people fucking forget that. Anyway, Kolga Bolga, thank you for the 50 gifted subs, by the way. 50 big ones. Hasan, why do you care if data is stolen? I don't get it. I mean, ultimately, it brings up privacy concerns, and I think that is valid. But at this point, it's impossible, like absolutely impossible to fight back against it. So I don't know how else to describe it other than that. Like, it's a violation. I mean, here's a great example of what happens. SafeGraph's disingenuous claims about location data mask a dangerous industry. The Electronic Frontier Foundation covered this. Motherboard reported on it. The data broker SafeGraph was selling location information related to visits to clinics that provide abortions, including Planned Parenthood facilities. They also can give it to law enforcement agencies, too, in southern states. Do you understand? That's one way that they can do it. Also, ironic, because this is precisely what Palantir does, too. Like, Palantir's entire purpose, Peter Thiel's Palantir, its entire purpose of existence is basically, scouring the interweb and creating better surveillance measures and better surveillance systems for those, for law enforcement and for the intelligence communities. That's what they do. Kolga Bolga, another 20 gifted subs. Holy shit. This guy's really funding the Vanguard today. You are batting 1,000 on this. You're correct on all fronts. It was shocking and nice to see the whole American population universally reject Congress's propaganda, which bodes well. I don't think the entirety, Kolga Bolga with another 10. What is happening, dude? This guy's like, bro, I'm trying to give you as many Gucci shirts as you possibly can. You please go buy more Gucci shirts. So, yeah, he named it Palantir. Yes. The Sauron Eye. Yeah, that's what he named it. My cousin's cybersecurity software engineer in DC for the government, and he claims TikTok is not nearly as bad as the media make them out to be. There's much worse out there. Of course. I mean, you have Facebook, dude. But the reality is, I think the majority of the American public, especially the older population, fucking despise TikTok and are terrified of China spying on us. Like, that much is true for sure. Virtual Meal, thank you for the 10 gift the subs. Brandan, GBC, thank you for the 5 gift the subs. I don't know what's happening. Why are you guys gifting so much today? So that's what's going on currently. In response, SafeGraph agreed to stop selling data about Planned Parenthood visitors, but it also defended its behavior, claiming SafeGraph is always committed to the highest level of privacy practices, ensuring individual privacy is never compromised. The company, it continued, only sells data about physical places, not individuals. The framing is misleading. First, SafeGraph for years did sell data about individuals and then remained closely tied to a business that still did so. Second, the aggregated location data that SafeGraph now sells is based on the same sensitive individual location traces that are collected and sold without meaningful consent. Yeah. Sakura Gore, thank you for the 25. Get the subs. Knife emoji, thank you for the 5. Get the subs. You also have to remember at least some percentage of this government pushback on TikTok is from their kids or their lobbyists, kids being addicted to it. It's like when Christian parents say certain things are evil because they don't want to dump money into it. Yeah, I think like that is also true. Everyone's fucking child is on TikTok. LeGrand Legend, thank you for the 5, get the subs. And I think that pisses the parents off. That scares parents, especially because it's like, especially because like it's a Chinese company. They don't want China controlling what their fucking children think, brother. That's what it is.
A lot of it is just plain old racism too, though, for sure. Like, you gotta know, like,
My goat.
a lot of just Americans definitely think some shit about China, for sure.
My goat.
Right? 100%.
Right.
Straight up. Yeah. What? Chat, you know, bro, China has always been used as like a war, like a term for like the Trump people, guys, right? Wasn't it used as a weapon for Trump all the time? Like, China's gonna, guys, you need to get me in because China's economy is gonna take over. China's gonna be taking control. Like, wasn't that always the narrative of China being taking over or some shit like that? It's always been the narrative.
Yoria Orpheus, thank you for the 5 gifted.
From American politics standpoint, Trump and shit like that.
How would a ban affect the movie or music industry? Oh, dude, here's what will happen. From the consumer side, fear not. TikTok is too valuable a product to like rock the boat dramatically. What will end up happening is, let's say they actually push through on a forcible ban. So then TikTok has to basically divest, or ByteDance has to divest out of TikTok, and then Facebook or another massive fucking power player in Silicon Valley purchases TikTok instead. Hopefully it's not like an Elon Musk style takeover though, because Elon Musk is like purposely fucking destroying his platform. Junior Turtle, thank you for the 20 gifted subs. Ultimately it'll be the same fucking platform. It's gonna be the same platform. They're just gonna still steal your data. They're probably gonna steal your data more. And that's it. It's less about privacy and more about TikTok's ability to sway public opinion. It's the perfect psyop tool. Yes, that I think is the real nefarious side of TikTok. Right now, I think TikTok is on autopilot. And TikTok on autopilot is still pretty fucking devastating because as we've seen, when platforms are not heavily moderating and heavily regulating what you are allowed to see on the algo, and TikTok is certainly not doing that because of how, and that's precisely why it's so fucking successful. But when platforms are not heavily regulating what you see on the algo, you get a lot of fucking psychotic right-wing shit on there. Or you get a lot of like weird, even left-wing content on there too. It's just like engaging. Being like a weirdo fucking psycho is engaging for many ways in many respects. And that's why you see like all the fucking insane radlib zoomers on TikTok talking about how, like, you know, if you've ever forgotten to respond to a text message from a girl, that means you're like akin to a criminal who needs to be punished by the law. And then everyone goes on and like tries to fucking dox the person. Or you have like insane right-wing conspiracies about like how the Jews are responsible for, you know, your 401ks or whatever. It's just like insanity galore. That's it. Or you have the 22-year-old alpha male dropshippers. Yes. So right now, even on autopilot, it's like pretty damaging to our youth, I think, in general, because they are power users of it. But that basically speaks to how successfully it could melt the minds or mold the minds of our younger generation. And you want to know why I think that? You want to know why I believe that? Let me tell you why I believe that. Because TikTok, owned by ByteDance, exists in China. It's just not TikTok. It's called Douyin. And it's heavily fucking regulated by the Chinese government. That's it. So the very same fucking corporation and the very same structure is an entirely different product in China. If TikTok wasn't so Ameribrained, they would do it like Douyin, but they don't. What damage can you explain? I mean, everything that you see, especially when you're impressionable and especially when you're young, can shape your worldview in dramatic ways. Now, obviously, ultimately, the material conditions are significantly more important, especially because culture is derived from the material conditions that you exist under. However, because of that, right-wing propaganda can be so effective at like radicalizing people. Okay? And it does. It often does.
Who own
Meta will collect whatever they can within the law and abuse the data. Banning TikTok won't stop CEOs from getting dragged in front of Congress saying, write a law, pussies, over and over and over again. Yeah, but it's not any different than literally any other social media. It's just more successful amongst the youth in comparison to any other social media. It's more addictive than any other social media, but the principles are the exact same. Again, and there are valid concerns there for social media, certainly. But the reality is that the reason why this conversation is even taking place is because it's a Chinese-owned company. That's it. This is somewhat related, but we recently talked about data safety in my sociology course, and it brought us to a discussion about data usage in China and how private data is used to better society by basically eliminating crime at a cost of privacy. I personally favor this concept because I don't really care who has my data. But do you have a take on something like that? Yes, that's fucking awful. That is terrifying. That is literally, you're describing Minority Report because you don't know what is considered a crime. You think in America, let's say in the United States of America, whistleblowing is a crime because it basically is. Okay? I am never in favor of a surveillance state. I will never be in favor of a surveillance state because I know what the state does with all of its surveillance. Like, it's never good. That's never a good thing. Okay? Because the state decides what's allowed and what's not allowed. Not all crimes are crimes. Let's say the state basically openly decides whistleblowing is a crime. Now you have a conversation amongst yourselves, amongst your colleagues about potentially whistleblowing on a particular matter that is like literally killing people, right? You're working for DuPont, and DuPont is like dumping toxic waste into the fucking natural water supply, destroying it. People are getting cancer. You want to fucking release that information. They find that beforehand because they're constantly surveilling your social media communications, and then they arrest you ahead of time. Do you think that that's okay? No. In the United States of America, it's practically fucking illegal to unionize your workplace. It's not illegal, but it's very, very difficult. Let's say they make it illegal to unionize your workplace in the future. Now they can use that surveillance apparatus to fucking criminalize your activity. But they are already doing that for abortion, like we talked about. Abortion has been criminalized in red states. They're going to data brokers right now to purchase information on people that are visiting abortion clinics already. So we don't even need to go to the future to find that. I just described to you in how they do this in America.
Or it doesn't matter who owns the company. It matters who controls it, who influences it. It matters that in China, there are no real private companies. Every company is subject, every corporation is subject to China's so-called security law, which forces these companies to turn over any information the Beijing government wants at the whim of the Beijing government. That means American user data. That is why American journalists are being tracked by China. That is why if you've got TikTok on your phone, China can track your location, they can track your keystrokes, they can read your phone messages, your contact list, all of this stuff. It's because the CCP effectively controls all major corporations in China.
I mean, they can... Did he just say if you put TikTok on your phone, it's a keylogger? Is that what he just said? I mean, I don't think it's to that level, but it is if you use the in-app browser. TikTok's in-app browser includes codes that can monitor your keystrokes, researcher says. When TikTok users enter a website through a link on the app, TikTok inserts a code that can monitor much of their activity on the outside websites, including their keystrokes. Jesus Christ. That's how aggressive the fucking desktop monitoring is. What the fuck? TikTok can, and so does Microsoft. So does Facebook. Facebook fails HIPAA. Meta does that too. I did not know it was like that. Holy shit. Yeah, they know your OnlyFans history completely. If that's the... Brother, I'm going to be honest with you. They know your OnlyFans history. You click on that link tree, TikTok knows, baby. You click on that link tree, Facebook knows. You're misunderstanding what in-app browser means? Fuck. Hold on. All right, I'm going to play this. I'll be back in a second.
Or the 150 million users of your app, because it is an extension of the CCP.
Chu said the company is working to build a firewall dubbed Project Texas to store and protect user data in the U.S.
I have seen no evidence that the Chinese government has access to that data.
I find that actually preposterous.
The panel also probed what safeguards the app has to shield teens from harmful content.
TikTok could be designed to minimize the harm to kids, but a decision was made to aggressively addict kids in the name of profits.
After more than 5 hours, many weren't satisfied.
He was completely vague. That's not sufficient.
In a statement, TikTok fired back, saying the day was dominated by police.